Mr. Prime Minister, you just opened the first ever edition of the FII Priority Summit in Tirana, which is an investment forum, just after hosting the EPC, the European Politic Conference. What is your recommendation to make public and private sectors working together in this current era?
First of all, I want to say that what happened in Tirana and what's happening was unthinkable until not long ago. And I have to very much thank you and thank the Institute for this amazing opportunity. And I was very surprised to hear from Mr. Ramayan that this is the first time in Europe. This is the best way, I think, to approach exactly the very fundamental issue of putting forces together between the public and the private sector, and exactly this type of venues where decision makers and people that come from the ground where all happens can interact, can raise questions, can get answers, and even more than that, can put each other in contact. And by the way, we had the honor to have the French president here, and on the way out, he just took and gave contact with 3 people. And one of them was a guy working on healthcare AI, and he said that he was based in London, and President Macron said, "Why in London? You have to come in Paris. Give me your contact. I'm going to call you." So it's amazing. It's absolutely fascinating.
You know, I discovered your country in total humility only a few months ago with my wife, and we fell in love with the country, with the people. And each time people are asking us, what do you think about Albania? I don't know if you will be happy with my comparison, but I think you are the new Switzerland of Europe. You are you are at the very center of Europe, so in terms of geography, you have even more legitimacy to be at the, I would say, hub for Europe. Number 2, the culture, the mix of culture, the mix of religion, a country of peace, a country of tolerance. So why you were so discreet until today? Because the whole world is discovering now Albania and discovering Tirana. 90% of our delegates are so positively surprised by the choice we made, and I think it's just the beginning. So what do you expect the future to be for Albania?
First of all, I was a bit scared when you said the new Switzerland, because on one hand, we are not, I think, able to become perfect like a Swiss watch. And on the other hand, if we would, then Albania would be terribly boring. So I prefer, let's say, a new Italy, where you find opportunities, where you find the pleasure of hospitality and of food, but where also you don't lose your smile. We have been blessed by God, but cursed by history, and we gave a big contribution to this curse, to be frank, for many, many centuries and years. And this country, where in a very small territory, 28,000 kilometers, you have 2 seas, you have mountains, you have 9 rivers, lakes, different landscape in every kilometer, is really a place to visit, is a place to stay, is a place to invest. But on the other hand, this country has suffered dramatically from stigma. And it was really very difficult to get people in Albania because the stigma was very heavy. And then when they came, every time they came, then they said, wow, it's not what we expected. Now we are out of that. We ended last year with 12 million tourists, and it's huge for a country of only 2.4. We are looking now to get exactly what very graciously you are bringing to the country, you know, the excellence, the really top quality, because we need to balance the mass with the quality. Otherwise, we can lose on the way not just the chance to be Switzerland, which I don't think we have, but even a chance to be a new Italy.
In addition of tourism, which is definitely one of the first sector to invest, and you have so many projects going on with great investors coming from the United States, from the UAE. What would be the other sectors that you would recommend to potential investors to look at?
We have a very, very good place, I would say, geographically and politically, to do much more on energy, and we are doing. So now we are going through a very big project together with Italy and UAE for the subcable to interconnect Albania with Italy, so the two sides, let's say, of Europe through the Adriatic, and to do our best with what we have as a treasure here, the full green energy. So we are 100% renewable. The problem is too much hydro. Now we are building solar. French companies have come, and other companies have come to build more on solar. So energy is for sure one frontier. Another one is the young and skilled people of Albania that are a very good raw material, let's say, to work on the innovation. And we are having now the first tech park with very good incentives. So a lot of companies are being interested to come. And of course, in the services, then we are good. But tourism, energy, and innovation are three directions where we can do a lot more.
At the Munich Security Conference a few months ago, you said EU is more E than you. It's more Europe than Union. How do you think we can fix this issue, which many people are aligned with you? So how can we make EU really united?
Listen, the problem, one of the problems I see with the EU is the difficulty of coming out with a decision, because there are many doctors for one patient, and then fighting to get the diagnosis, and then fighting which is the right medicine. And somehow the EU is suffering this democratic process, but on the other hand, it has to preserve democracy by no doubt. But bottom line is that EU should think that the only way to resist to this new rising powers and to this new rising order is to do the unthinkable. So to go very strong against the prejudices that have been built. When we hosted the EPC, I said to them, listen, we have decorated this home with kids' drawings, but I find very, very similar the dreams of kids with the dream of the founding fathers of Europe, because both are not captured by the myths of the past. So Europe has to overcome its own past, I mean the recent past, and should not lose the trust and should not lose the belief in itself as a continent of peace. So it's good to rearm It's good to prepare to defend ourselves, but we have to not forget that what is worth defending in Europe is not just the physical territory, but it's the soul of Europe, which is practically the soul of the world. And if we lose this soul, then we might have the most mighty army, but what are we protecting?
Mr. Prime Minister, you were re-elected a few days ago for the 4th consecutive term, which is historical in Albania. What will be your top 3 priorities for the next mandate?
First of all, I have to share with you that I'm in a little trouble with my socialist fellows because when someone asks me how you are a socialist and you won for the 4th term and
it's because you are a humanist.
What you do? Would you say to the others? I said, listen, I don't know what to say because maybe I win because I'm not a good socialist, you know. So the top 3 things as we speak are EU for us. So the window of opportunity has been opened. It's very sad that to open this window of opportunity we needed Putin, because it was his aggression on Ukraine that woke up everyone and turned the always very clear, but only in words, message that Europe one day will be united in action. And I hope that also the election of Donald Trump will make Europe turn in action things that need to be done. So if we succeed in that, I think the 4 mandates will be worth.
Which role women are playing in the new Albania, I would say, model?
Listen, when we started the campaign, I wanted the campaign to start with the women. So half of the campaign was rallies with women. We started first with the front line of women in our party, women and girls, and then we expanded. And then one day, you know, sometimes when you campaign, you can say things that you know, can be not really perfect and then can open discussion. But one day I said, listen, we are mobilizing the women because 56% of the women and girls in Albania vote for us. So this is a big force. And if we have the women, we have the first voters, then we need just half of the men because the other half are dumb. And this opened a big issue here, how we can say the other half are dumb and so on. Being stubborn by nature, I insisted and I said, listen, I believe that it's not about not voting for me, you are dumb. It's about not understanding that in this moment we need to unite to get to the EU, which is for all of us, not just for socialists or Democrats, is dumb. And this, at the end, brought us even a bigger number of women voting for us. And the men were okay. So we got half of them, a bit more than half, by the way. And we got a big majority because, and I explained, I said, every man that is smart understands that, yes, women are the driving force. And we have worked a lot about that because in this country we have had 2 phases. One, a long phase of centuries where women were treated like, and in that famous common law, which has its bright side of hospitality, there is a very dark side about women. So the woman is considered as one of the animals of the house, the livestock. When communism came, they talked about emancipation, but what they did was that they forced women to come out from their houses. They forced them to work. But communism was very much about against the femininity, against the beauty, and was about uniform. And women were depicted like men, you know, like they are strong as men. And even in the paintings, in the pictures of propaganda, you never saw a beautiful woman. Then when freedom came, we had this first wave of Miss Albania, Miss Tirana, Miss the school, even Miss the kindergarten, you know, and because it was kind of a revolt to show up the femininity, but still, of course, was not the way. So when I took the leadership of the Socialist Party, we started to put quotas. We started to invite girls and women to participate, and then we changed the whole thing, and it's very worth.
You just spoke about painting, pictures. You are an artist. You are a sculptor, you are a painter. I think culture is in your blood. How this culture, which is part of your DNA, is helping you in your day-to-day job of Prime Minister?
For sure, I draw during meetings, and this helps me to keep some balance. I didn't know that, but on the way I read a study, I guess from the Department of Psychology of MIT, where they looked on people that doodle during meetings, because there are a lot of people that doodle, not artists, but. And there were two findings that shocked me. You know, one is that people that doodle during meetings, they have average 30% more concentration on the topic that is being discussed. And it makes sense, because when you are sitting and you discuss and you have something else in mind, then you look, but you are elsewhere. While when your eyes and your hands are doing something apart,
you focus.
Automatically you are focused on what is taught. Wow. And the second finding was that 50% of the people that doodle during a meeting are less stressed from the topic that's being discussed. And this I can witness. When there is a topic that is intense, and I don't have something to draw, I get nervous very fast. Otherwise, when you draw and you wait for your moment to kill, you know, you don't just jump on everyone. So this has helped me. I believe it has helped me in the beginning when I was mayor, that I started to color, because we didn't have any money, so to color the buildings, and then from colors to go further. But in general, sometimes there is a tendency to say, oh, we need artists to govern. It's not true. It's about the person, it's not about the profession. You can have an artist that can be terrible, and you can have a lawyer that can be fantastic in government. So it's about people, and not about categories, you know. But maybe because the politicians have become such an under-respected category, and I think for all the wrong reasons, then there's this tendency that we need to find some salvation in some artist. It's not true. I believe that there are bad politicians, there are good politicians, as there are bad investors, good investors, and you know it, you know.
Mr. Prime Minister, if you look at the global world map, Albania is really a hub, as I say, the catalyst between Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. How do you see this role to be in the future in terms of geoeconomics, in terms of geopolitics?
Listen, this is a bless for us because of the composure of the
society
with Muslims and Christians. Thanks God, with no problems. On the contrary, no boundaries, no prejudices, no nothing. We have the natural propensity to look everywhere, although it's very clear that Albanians are very staunch EU and Europe in general lovers. So Europe has always been our dream. And when things have evolved, we have had some periods of time that politics became too much focused only on the West, and we didn't build relations on the East. And I changed that, starting by putting in our foreign policy document that we don't have only two strategic partners, Greece and Italy, but we have three. We have also Turkey. And then I started to build up the relation with the Middle East, with the Gulf countries. So now we somehow are in a very good position, because our position in terms of geopolitics is very clear. We are West, we are aligned with EU, but we want to have relations, and we want to have brotherly relations with these countries I mentioned, also because we have a very unique characteristic in Europe. So the last visit the last high-level visit to Moscow was 1960. So we never visited Kremlin and never had a visit from Kremlin or from a government official, because of our history, but also because there is no appetite to get closer to Russia. And no Russian money, no Russian investment, or nothing. With China, we have a good relation. I mean, not like with Russia. We have a good relation, but still, there is no Chinese investment, and there is no big cooperation like with Serbia or North Macedonia or Montenegro and China. So for us, this is a bit the horizon from the Middle East to Europe. America is new in the pitch through the investment that you were mentioning, but also investments in energy. So we would like to do more, and it's good. We are happy with that.
My last question, Mr. Prime Minister, what is your wish, your dream for the world, for Europe, and for Albania?
I'm a fanatic lover of that text of Abbe de Saint-Pierre, which I find absolutely crazy. Imagining an abbé somewhere in France having this vision and opening up the eyes of people about how the world could look differently, and putting down a concept of this perpetual peace union, the union of perpetual peace, which for him includes Russia, goes to the east, to areas that at that time were under the Ottoman Empire, and which means not necessarily that every one of these countries should be in the EU, but every one of these countries should be part of the same community. Like Switzerland is not in the EU, or Norway is not in the EU. UK, let's see, because they look that they are crossing a depression desert. So this is what I would dream about. But as Voltaire wrote, there were light interests and petty caprices that didn't allow this big vision to, because at the end it's that, it's the egos, it's the individuals in time, and the EPC is a bit that, because France has always carried this idea of a larger Europe without necessarily all in the European Union.
Mr. Prime Minister, thank you so much for your hospitality.
It's an honor for me.
Thank you for having us in Tirana. We hope to see you in Riyadh to our FII flagship conference in October.
No, now
continue the conversation.
Now I have no choice but to come, even if I would have something else. But I would come with the biggest pleasure. It will be an honor to be part of this movement, of this sect.